This might be an opinion a lot of people disagree with, but personally, I think Harvest Moon games are better on home console than they are portable console. Like, the DS. I just always thought the games for home console were better than the ones for portable console. So, Harvest Moon Animal Parade. Does it support that thought, or disprove it? Well, let's find out. All the characters from Harvest Moon Tree Tranquility, the last Harvest Moon game, this prequel to this one, well, prequel kind of, it has all the same characters from that game in this game with the exception of one or two. So if you like the characters from Tree Tranquility, congratulations. They're all in this game, like I said, with the exception of one or two people. But they don't remember anything that happened on Waffle Island, so you're an entirely new character, going to an entirely new town, filled with people you already know if you play Tree Tranquility, but they have no memory of the past things that happened in Tree Tranquility. So, alternative universe, I guess? Yeah, let's go with that. The plot of this game is that you're moving to this town actually knowing that it's struggling a bit. Well, more than a bit, the whole town pretty much sucks. The wind isn't blowing, fish aren't arriving, the fire isn't starting, and the crops won't grow, and everyone is just all around kind of miserable. Well, hey, if all that stuff was happening in my town, I know I would be too. Your mission is to locate 5 bells. These 5 bells basically bring life to the entire land. You're supposed to relocate those 5 bells and bring them back to their original post. Getting these bells, well, it's different from mission to mission. One bell to get can take about 5 minutes if you have the right ingredients, and other bells can take several months. The story in this game is actually very compelling because it feels like you're actually there on a mission, almost like some sort of secret spy who's there to rebuild the town because you know it's in peril. And it's fair to say that that's actually kind of what you're doing anyway. So the story in this game is pretty dang fun. Yeah, dang, because PG show? Never mind. Now, of course, besides the story in Harvest Moon Animal Parade, you're supposed to do Harvest Moon-esque things. And what do you think of when it comes to Harvest Moon? Well, farming, of course. To be honest, though, I feel like farming is really downplayed in this game. I don't know why. It just seems like the fact that there's basically no seeds to choose from when you first enter this town because the crops won't grow and stuff like that. The game, when it comes to farming, just seems really boring. I found myself focusing a lot more on things like the plot and getting to know characters than when it came to things like farming. It seemed like it was just one of those other side things or missions I could do when I felt like it. I still planted seeds, I still grew vegetables and different assorted fruits, but for the most part, farming in this game, I felt, was very downplayed. But there's more to do in this game than just farming. You can chat with your neighbors, fish, mine, you can cook, and of course, do things with animals. I mean, hey, the game is called Animal Parade. You are actually given a barn animal as soon as you start this game, which is very convenient considering there aren't a whole lot of seeds you can choose from. So, you can raise that cow and get some milk, so you can have a couple more bucks in the beginning of the game. I like the fact that this game gave you an animal right from the beginning, because in Tree Tranquility, it took you a while to actually get a barn animal. And I thought that was a really nice touch. Now, besides getting barn animals, you can of course get pets in this game. Now, getting pets in Tree Tranquility was kind of difficult. You needed to get a pretty good amount of stars on hearts on them, and by getting hearts on animals, you needed to basically give them food and other items, and they would accept basically 2 items a day, and once you finally got 6 hearts on an animal, which you could check by using the C menu, they'd become your pet. Well, in this game, just talking to an animal does a lot more than it did in Tree Tranquility. Not to mention, you can pet the animal, carry the animal when you become close enough to it, and also give gifts to the animal, which basically means you earn hearts with that animal a lot faster. And in this game, you only need 4 hearts until you're able to make it your pet. I think 4 hearts. Forgive me if I'm wrong, it's been a while since I played this game. So this game is pretty generous when it comes to the whole animal aspect, as you would assume, which is really nice. Not to mention, a whole other side mission in the game, probably the biggest side mission in the game, is this circus that keeps coming to town. This person who runs the circus, named Theodore, is having some trouble. Some of his animals are missing and it's your job to find them. They're hiding in 3 different locations, and to bring them out of their hiding locations, you need to feed them certain dishes. Once you're able to get all 3 animals back, they will serve as a transportation service to get around town. Speaking of getting around town, This game is a lot larger than Tree Tranquility, which means getting from point A to point B will take longer, but time is extended so it is okay. Even though once you actually get a good transportation system, like getting a horse or getting the actual transportation system with the animals like I just talked about, the days seem to drone on maybe even too long. I find myself sometimes going to bed around 4 or 5 p.m. in this game, and, well, unless you work all the time, day round, it's not a normal thing. Then again, I guess you kind of do work all the time, day round in this game, so, whatever, I suppose. Now, another big thing when it comes to Harvest Moon is, of course, getting to know your neighbors and eventually getting married and having kids. Now, this is what I had problems with, actually getting married. The process of getting married and the ladder of actually getting up on someone's likability chart, that's fine, but once you actually get married, it just feels kind of awkward. In Harvest Moon Tree Tranquility, it actually felt like I was married to the character I chose that I wanted to marry. She really did seem like my wife, she said wife-like things, and I just thought it seemed normal. But in this game, I felt like my wife just did not feel like a wife. She'd say some kind of marriage lovey-dovey thing at the beginning of the day, and then would go on to say something completely regular or something totally unrelated to us being married, like as if she was just another normal person I'd never met before. You can go on walks with her, but it feels like you're literally walking around a pet rather than your bachelor or bachelorette that you decided to marry. It just feels awkward. Play the game and you might know what I'm talking about if you play Tree Tranquility. Marriage in this game just feels awkward. I can't really explain it, but Tree Tranquility was better when it came to that aspect. But overall, the graphics in this game are about the same when it comes to comparing Tree Tranquility and Animal Parade, but the camera angles in this game, I have to admit, are a lot better. They're fixed at certain angles depending on where you want to travel, and the angles always seem to be in a pretty good position. The music in this game is also very, very well done as well. Now, of course, besides the story, you have the other aspects like fishing and mining, and basically those work the same as they do in Tree Tranquility. There are a couple differences when it comes to mining, like you never know if you're going to find a rare item in the mine, opposed to some kind of junk, where in Tree Tranquility you can tell, and it's a lot more difficult to upgrade tools, but besides that, it's about the same game. And if you want to learn more about the aspects of Tree Tranquility and what the whole game as a whole is about, check out my Harvest Moon Tree Tranquility review that I did a long time ago. But that is it for the personal review of Harvest Moon Animal Parade. This game is a lot of fun. It can drone on at times, and the marriage system doesn't work as well, and personally I think Tree Tranquility is overall the better game, but this game certainly isn't bad by any means. It's very bright, the story is better than the one in Tree Tranquility, it's fun to play, there are a lot more cutscenes and a lot more side events which are also very enjoyable, and I think this is a game you should definitely own if you are a fan of life simulation games and are especially a fan of Harvest Moon games. So, if you own a Nintendo Wii, I give this game a 7 out of 10, and if you like Harvest Moon, I suggest buying it. If not, I suggest renting it so you can see if life simulation games are the game for you. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next review.